You're on, guys.
All right, welcome.
Hey, thanks for joining us today on the G3C show.
Yes. Coming to you live from FlintTalkRadio.com on Ustream. Thanks for being here.
Yes. What's up, John?
Not much.
How you doing today, brother?
I'm pretty good. Just not looking forward to winter. I'm just like really down. Went outside. Somebody's knocking on the door. And it was just so I got up there. There's like fluffs coming down. Like, damn. It's still Michigan. I'm gonna have to see another damn winter.
He's already got that cabin fever thing going on.
Oh, God, I hate it. I'm serious. I feel like I should gain 40, 50 more pounds, waddle downstairs, and go to sleep for until April, man.
John's ready for hibernation. Right on.
Yeah, I was surprised too when I was on my way here. There was flakes hitting the car.
Yeah, it was actually snowing in Sports Creek right now. That's what my lady just said.
It's that time of year.
Yep.
Hopefully you got your garden in by now. If you don't, you better.
Yeah.
You know what they say?
Purple.
You know, if you're in Michigan, if you actually have to plan your kid's Halloween costume to go over a snowsuit. So, yeah.
That's true. You never know.
Yeah,
I should let people know, get their Halloween costumes a little big just in case.
Yep.
A lot of bears, costumes.
I remember as a little kid, it would always rain on Halloween for me. Like, we'd be like cool, and like you'd be like all dressed up for a nice cool night, like 50 degrees or so. And then like as you get halfway through and get like away from your house, all of a sudden sprinkle, 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 and you're like, I can bear this, and you keep going farther and farther away from your house. Next you know it's like, whoosh, and you're like, soaked costume again. It sucks. Every Halloween when I was a little kid did that, and I get sick every year.
Yeah.
It might have been from eating all the candy too, but I don't know.
It rained a lot this last week though, so hopefully it's over with.
Yeah.
Maybe it moved by early this year.
Maybe like the only benefit though of living in like New York or something is like you just take your kids. Like if you live in an apartment like building and it has like hundreds of apartments in it, and you're like, all right, just have fun, run through the halls, go for it.
Probably. Yeah. Probably.
I buy one exit, you buy the other. Go at it. We'll see you when you get back.
Like literally, you're like, all right, what apartment complex are we going to this year? I don't know, guys. Where do you guys want to go to? We got the one down here. Like they probably don't pick it out by the block. It's probably just like, what building do you want to go to this year?
Oh, well, that'd be probably more convenient. You could hit a lot more doors.
Oh, yeah. I'd probably go to the one with, like, Donald Trump and stuff where he lives, like, try to sneak in there. You probably get away, like, actual, like, instead of, like, king-size candy bars, they give, like, a pallet. Like, oh, you got lucky. Like, one of my factories just had overstock in Baby Ruth's, and here's a whole pallet for you, kid.
Yeah.
Pull that with you. It's got a little trolley underneath there. Go ahead and take it with you.
Gold coins.
Yeah, gold coins. You got the owner of like Tiffany's living in one of those places. Like, free earrings for the women and little rings for the boys.
Cops and crystals.
It's amazing how Halloween, the holiday of it, has just grown in the last 10 years or so. I mean, now it's a huge holiday. I think there's like some kind of conspiracy going on between like Nestle and AstraZeneca. They're like, look, we're going to load them up with sugar, take them out on a cold night. We'll have you on prescriptions the next week.
Yeah. As you get older, though, like I have found that as you get older, Halloween becomes the complete opposite. It's like no more about getting candy. It's about going out to like the Halloween party and seeing how crazy the women dress this year. It's like more of a contest. Like everyone says, I mean, this is not anything negative. This is everyone even jokes about, even the women. Women is like, or Halloween's like the one time of the year women can dress as slutty as they want and get away with it. Like, I'm a naughty nurse. Or I'm a naughty witch.
I'm
like,
a cop.
Yeah. Like how many cops actually wear like,
stilettos.
Yeah, stilettos and fish stockings and stuff. Like, I mean, I have nothing wrong with it, but like that's the one thing as you get older, like, screw the candy. Like, I want to see what the Halloween party's got to offer this year.
They're just making a point that policemen don't make very good money and they can't afford a lot of clothes, so they just wear as little as possible.
Well, I don't know if you guys catch the skit on the Jon Stewart show last night, and they're talking about that subject there, and the lead commenter there, she eventually dressed up and had her person come out, just dressed up as a badge. just one big... and nothing else.
It's a badge, right?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Would it
That's
be?
pretty awesome. Can you imagine going door to door on that?
I don't know. People might think you're like a clam or maybe a rose or something. That's interesting. Hey, well, we do have something coming up at the club to warm you up here. I know we got our chili cook-off coming up on November 2nd. So it's something that will get you guys out of the house, get away from the cabin fever, and come down to the club on the 2nd, which is a Saturday. And we're having our chili cook-off. It's a contest. We got two different categories, traditional and non-traditional. So you guys can enter in your chili, bring crock pot, whatever. come on down, enter, and then of course if you're not entering, you can always have some chili to eat. Be one of the judges.
Oh yeah.
Traditional is no beans, no pasta, no starch.
Mm-hmm.
Had to look at our rules for that.
No start.
And non-traditional, you can put whatever you want into it, I guess. So
Whatever.
there you go.
Whatever's edible.
Let's get
Please
crazy.
leave it to edible objects.
Yes.
Don't be men.
You have to be so restrictive. No.
I think I'm gonna try to create a new chili this year, like the man's chili, like filet mignon in it, like some not prime rib, but ribeye chopped up.
I might use some of yours.
Some
Sounds like
ground-
the rich man's chili.
Yeah.
some ground sirloin. You can even throw like some bacon. Get
Now,
some big, thick,
I thought you meant like manly chili. You mean like
Right.
the man's chili.
Like, I swear there's sauce in there somewhere. You just gotta scoop the meat out to get it.
It's in between the IRS tax code. All right, so come on down on the 2nd, if you would, to the Compassion Club. We'd love to have you. You guys can participate and have lots of fun. Turned out real good last year. We had like 8 or 9 different kinds of chili, and they were all amazing. So we'll have some prizes for the lead chili makers.
Chats was interesting. Like I said last week, I was pretty impressed. I don't know what you put in there. I don't even want to know what you put in there
It was
last
good.
year. It was
Last week? Oh, last year. Yeah, last year. That was pretty good.
Hey,
That was my old lady's recipe.
Right on.
Yes.
Doug went out from the repertoire.
Yes.
Nice. Hey, if you have questions or anything you want to call in during the show, we'd love to hear from you. Our call-in number is 810-208-1854. We can take your questions live on the show relating to medical marijuana here in the state of Michigan. So feel free to call in.
What else we have with the chili cook-off? Anything else with the chili cook-off?
Well, I was wondering, do we have a soup kitchen coming up here?
Yes, actually. This Saturday coming up, guys. If you guys are listening right now at the club and you want to get involved and be part of something super awesome and lots of fun, good words to describe it, huh? The soup kitchen will be this Saturday. A few of us will be meeting early, more like noon, which is usual or earlier than usual. But a few of us will be meeting there at noon and heading down there early. And anyone else that wants to come later, you guys can meet at 1:30, 1:45 at the club. You'll be leaving and getting at the soup kitchen by 2, which is right down the street from the club, so it's not that far. I just like to have a little session where everyone can meet up and shake hands and make sure everyone's all there, and then we can leave. We will be making our own food this year. Not this year, but our time again, sorry. We're going to be making something very special. You should definitely come check it out. If you haven't ever been there before, this would be a great time for you to go, because we're going to make our own food from scratch. That's why the early prep is going on. And I can just tell you right now, the food is going to be so amazing that you're going to want to try some for yourself. I know I always say I eat at the soup kitchen because I love all the food, but when we cook stuff ourselves at the soup kitchen, it's that much better. And a lot of love.
Right.
Yeah, and I'm hoping to actually have a guest appearance of Colonel Sanders.
Really?
Yes. I'm hoping he's be showing up.
That's
But
sweet.
I'll have to see, because I don't know if his wardrobe is ready yet. We might have his little nephew coming in instead.
That tie is the kicker, huh?
It really is.
Still trying to grow out the beard or something like that.
I need more time.
But yeah, this soup kitchen is going to be awesome. We're doing it at Soup Kitchen every month. Last year we did it 4 times a year, 2 visits each time. So I actually went 8 times a year. But we did it in 4 sections. Now we're actually doing it once a month. So we'll be going 12 times a year, a little bit more than last year, trying to get a little extra effort. But at 1 time a month, I figure everyone, if you can't make it this month, you can make it next month. And you have a month. I mean, you pretty much know right now the whole year of like when to plan for it. Pretty much the last week of every month is when the soup kitchen will be coming. It's usually going to be the last Saturday of every month, but there will be variables in between. That's why I'm saying just plan the last week of every month, just having a day open for yourself and to give back to the community, because the soup kitchen is an amazing time to do it. John down there is amazing. He's the guy that runs the joint with all his wonderful colleagues that he works with. They all do a great job down there too. And also Lawrence is one of my personal favorite cooks down there. So I know, I'm going on about this for 2 minutes, 3 minutes. That's how much I like this place. I can go on forever about it if I was allowed to. But come on out this week. Like I said, a few of us will be leaving early. So a few of you guys, I know there are hardcore ones that come every time. If you guys want to come a little bit early with me at noon, that'd be awesome. But if not, 2 o'clock, we'll be getting down there for everyone else. Like I said, we're done by 5 o'clock, so we're back at the club before it closes, and you feel pretty fulfilled and happy. And like I said, this time it's going to be some wicked food.
Wicked, food. Awesome food.
Like last time we cooked food, Burn Ash made his homemade cobbler, dude. Oh, do you remember that? That cobbler was amazing, dude. Peach cobbler. We had homemade pizza last time.
Yeah, I heard about
Yeah.
the pizza for a while.
That was pretty good. This time's gonna be way better. Way better.
You getting like truffles and stuff. You going all out, huh?
I heard it might be something on the fried side.
Alright.
Yes.
Wow.
Yes.
I like that word.
Wow.
Yes. Yeah, but that's the soup kitchen this time, guys. And if you are not able to make it this time, like I said, plan ahead for next month. Especially around the holidays is when we need more help, because the soup kitchen is actually falling off around the holidays because a lot of our volunteers are busy. It's plain and simple to say it that way. So if any of you guys have any extra time that you're willing to spare, you don't just have to go with us to the soup kitchen. If you want to come down there this Saturday with us or anytime soon, or just want to show up there and talk to John or any of the other directors there, you can show up there and talk to them, and you can volunteer any other time you want. So like right now, if you have free time throughout the rest of the holidays for you and your family, you and a few friends. Oh, I think Beaner just shit himself.
Oh, that's
Sorry.
me.
He doesn't go to the soup kitchen.
Sorry, it was just like a big whiff all of a sudden, like a turd.
I don't think they can see Beaners.
Sorry, Beaner's earlier, guys. I know everyone always watches to see if Beaner's is here. He's here dressed up in his Martha Stewart little dragon. That's right. Yep, Martha Stewart dragon.
Aw.
He has a new costume for every day from now until Halloween. So I'll try to make sure everyone gets to see him. Yes, but you do stink, boy.
He's rocking.
He tooted. Yes.
Yeah, point him that way. I'm talking about the soup kitchen. You got all excited.
Yeah.
Like, I gotta make some room.
Well, I hope to see some of you guys out and about for the soup kitchen. And like I said, if not, you can get out there on your own. They very much appreciate that. You can just go down there and volunteer, or if you have other groups that you want to go with, go do it. Just be part of the soup kitchen. Be part of that giving back right now. The holidays is a needful time for that, I should say. Everyone needs a little help in the holidays.
That's right.
Especially when it's cold out. I couldn't imagine being in that less fortunate position to have no heat. Or not
that'd be
warm
awful.
clothes to keep yourself warm. I know right now we actually had a situation with one of our members at the club where they had a house fire. And on the way to work today, I was really just thinking about wow, if that was me, I would be in shambles. So I can only feel how sad people in the party are feeling right now. So I know there was people helping out. If you guys, if anyone has a little extra clothing, a little extra house goods, stuff to help someone that lost everything get back on their feet, this person is with open arms. I know they're not asking people for it, but I know other people have been helping with that. So if you feel a little bit gracious right now, I advise you that's a great place to start right there. We help out with our family first, you know what I'm saying, and then once our family's taken care of, we try to help everyone. So that's a good place to start. Even money helps, guys.
Yeah, I believe they lost everything. I think they need furniture. Anything.
Anything, even toothpaste
clothes.
and deodorant and stuff. When you lose your house, you pretty much need everything. And I know if I lost my place, like I said, I'd probably have nothing. So, really help out as much as anyone can right now with anything you could.
Yep, you can bring your donations down to the club, and we'll make sure they get to them.
Yes.
So, right on.
Yes, and thank you to everyone else who's been helping out with that. I know it's a lot on Facebook, people trying to get the word out there and everything. Thank you guys.
Yeah, especially thanks to Heather and to
Boss Ross and
yep, you bet for helping out. We had our U-Haul down there yesterday, taking items and so forth. So, any donations would be greatly appreciated.
Yes,
for sure. I think the newsletter, man. Show them the newsletter.
Newsletter.
GFBC monthly newsletter, guys.
It's a new thing.
They're all over the place at the club. You can pick one up probably at the snack bar, the security desk. I'm sure if you look around at some of the tables in the middle or the library area, you can probably find some. They have some nice reads here. We actually have one of our member spotlights right here. Let's see. Meet Matt Bernash.
Matt Bernash.
Ooh. You guys met Matt? Have you guys met Matt Bernash yet?
I have.
He's a pretty cool guy. Let's see what Matt Bernash is all about. It says here, Matt is a long-standing member and vendor. Matt's hobbies include fishing, hockey, gardening, golfing, and rental houses. Yeah, I love working too. When asked the question, Sativa or Indica, Matt answered, Sativa. That's right. So if you guys haven't met Matt yet, you should probably go say hi to him if you see him. He's probably around, you know what I'm saying? Just go shake his hand, say, hi, Matt, it's nice to meet you. Because he is the member spotlight of the month, so you might as well get to know him. Shake his hand, give him a hug, whatever you want to do.
Thanks for supporting the club, Matt.
Yeah, thank you, Matt.
And it's also on the The hockey team, right?
Yes, the hockey team too. The Puckers.
C3C Puckers schedule on there for the month of October.
The schedule's on there.
Yeah,
Is
we
there
got
games
a
coming up?
game coming up October 27th at 4:15.
Ooh.
Games are at the Polar Palace in Lapeer.
That's for
Davidson
hockey
Road.
guys. The Puckers.
Yep, that's our team we sponsored,
Mm-hmm.
and looks like there should be some exciting times out there.
Oh yeah, and they play
Polar
against-
Palace.
the league they play in plays the Lapeer Police Department, the Lapeer County, also the Lapeer County prosecuting team. So it'd be kind of interesting. Like I know a lot of people that are from Lapeer always have this bad taste in their mouth. So maybe now you can go out there and cheer on the other team to beat them in some hockey. Yeah.
Also, don't forget we have the November canned food drive. It's also here on the newsletter, asking you to donate a can of food upon your entry to the club.
Mm-hmm.
Obviously, all the food donations will be going to the North End Soup Kitchen.
Or there's $1 charge, right? Are we doing that?
If you can't donate food, then we'll accept money.
Yep. It's just $1, which is nothing big, but the dollars do add up. I know a lot of people say, well, I don't have any cans, and I don't have time to stop. And they honestly don't care giving $1 because they know for every dollar that's donated, it actually goes, 5 times farther than actually giving food?
Yeah.
It could be more of that. I don't know. I've heard it was 5, and I heard it was 7 one time. Whoever does the buying, I think, is in their power. But they do a darn good job using their money because a lot of these places, whether it be the soup or the Eastern Michigan Food Bank or other places around you, if you're watching online here from somewhere else, a lot of these places, they have buying power. They have buying power at wholesale prices. They also have discounts because of nonprofit. And they also have agreements with a lot of these corporations and a lot of these companies. So when they get the money, they can sit there and go buy something that you could normally buy for like literally a fifth the cost. And they can buy a lot more food with that $1 than we could ever donate in cans. So don't feel bad if you don't have any cans. That $1 does help out tremendously. And I'm surprised they really don't promote that part.
I think if you look around, there's billboards all over, and $1 creates 6 meals or something like
all right,
that.
there you go. 6. So it's even better than that because I was off because $1
I'm not sure
for
if
5
it's exactly
cans.
accurate, but
Well, I think it was meals. I was off, and it wasn't
I think it
cans.
is.
It was meals. So if you can provide a whole meal, like 4 meals for $1 or even 6, compared to that 1 can or even a half a can you might buy for $1, depending on how fancy soup you buy, that $1 does go a lot farther. So if you don't have any cans, don't go out and rush to go buy a bunch of cans. Like literally, take that money you're going to spend on cans and just bring it in and donate it. That would be way more effective. But we do love the cans though. Yeah,
way.
bring something tasty like snacks that I can eat. Joking.
We got late nights coming up here. This Friday, we have, Big Rig Oil Night?
Yeah.
Yeah, bring your rig.
Big rig.
Bring your
Big
rig.
rig time.
Big Rig.
It doesn't
Big-
have to
big
be an
rig.
oil rig, you know what I mean? If you don't partake in oil.
Be a cool
bring
flower
your rig. Yeah.
Bring your rig. It's from 6 to 9 up at the club. And then, let's see, the following week we have, which is November 1st actually, we have the Halloween party. So bring your costume, we'll have prizes, and then the following week after that we have Euchre Night. So very exciting.
And you get to get another use out of your costume.
Exactly.
That's like awesome. That's a bonus.
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 Cool. So check out the newsletter if you get a chance. You're up at the club. Great job to Brian busting this out. Looks awesome. So
Yes.
thank you for that.
Brian.
Nailed it.
Yeah.
Cool
Not only can he
beans.
write, he can do art and everything else. He's the magic man.
He can do it.
He's a musician, an artist, and a journalist.
There we go.
Wow, what can't Brian do?
I've never seen his costume, like his superhero costume.
Mhm.
But I know he does a lot.
Sweet. All right, we have a few bits of marijuana news for you this week. One of the things that I was interested in this week, there's a new bill coming up here in the Michigan legislature, and this is in part due to the Caruthers decision about not knowing, I guess the judges not being able to decipher what's considered usable and what's not usable, what's considered protected by Section 4 and what isn't. But this here is a possibility here in the House legislature. It's a bill that's being introduced, and it has a slightly different direction as far as to the definition. It puts in here some information just to kind of clarify what is considered usable, what is considered protected by the law. So I'll read you the definition here. You guys discuss it. Tell me what you think here. Does this really clear things up? Here we go. Usable marijuana means the dried leaves, flowers, extract, or resin of the marijuana plant, and any mixture or preparation thereof, but does not include the seed stalks and roots of the plant, or any inactive substance used as a delivery medium for the usable marijuana. So there you have it. The current definition right now is pretty much the same. The difference is it doesn't have the word in there extract or resin, and then it also goes on to say, it doesn't say anything about inactive substances. Although you would think that would kind of be a given.
Right. Well, we have to
Kinda
have it on
cool.
paper, man. We have
That's
to
kinda
have it
cool.
be written.
The brownie's inactive, you know what I'm saying? I mean, there has been a lot of cops that and judges even that have allowed the weight of brownies, like in whole. So, I mean, it sounds redundant and sounds like not needed, but if that's what we need to have written down so people understand, hey, you know what, that brownie is not all marijuana,
Right.
then that's what we need.
Well, you bring up a point. I mean, if you got a 1 pound brownie and it has 1 gram of marijuana in it, you would think by law that the gram of marijuana and all we would be really concerned about. But
Right.
if there is confusion there as to how much of this is
Like a non...
to be weighed as towards someone's usable limit,
Yeah.
what do they count? And it can make it tricky. I think that you would think common sense would apply here, but we all know that it doesn't really exist anymore.
It does mention leaf, though. Is that like, yeah?
It says the dried leaves, flowers, or extract or resin. So that's it. So all of that could be included. I think it's nice to have the legislature taking a look at the issues that are on the table. Obviously, the Carruthers decision brought forth an issue there as to what is considered that was a brownie case, and what do you count, what don't you count. I think that if we're going to take the step of passing another bill here in the House, then we should take a look at a lot of different things that are on the table. Like in that regard, what is a plant? Is a clone a plant or is it not? Should it be counted towards someone 12 allowed plants, or should it not be counted towards that? Get a little better definition there. What about other types of preparations? You know what I mean? Like they're talking about marijuana, usable marijuana, means dried leaves, flowers, and extract or resin. So aren't there other types of concoctions of medication here that would actually use things that are not dried? We've talked last week about some people taking the leaf material and juicing it,
Right.
and making a medicinal drink there.
You would never dry those leaves prior to juicing.
Well, yeah, it kind of defeat the purpose.
Right. So it would be
My juice is gone.
So then, is it all of a sudden not usable?
apparently
All right.
Not yet.
a dried bag of just trim, that you're wanting to make hash or oil out of or whatever. That would be considered in your weight, right?
Right.
Start making
Dry.
wet
Because it's dried.
Right.
So yeah, if in that case, Toby, let's say you had someone that was drying out their plants and planning on taking that material there and then concentrating it down, or basically manufacturing it into another type of substance. So to them, it's not usable because it hasn't completed its manufactured process or processes. What about that situation there? I guess that's the kind of question I'm asking here is, if we're going to go through and clarify this, shouldn't we look at all the different types of things out there instead of just trying to wrap it up in a nice little sentence and add a couple words on?
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't seem to clear up the water in a sense. And what about the case when it is considered not usable? Is it not protected? So if we've got a plant that's drying, it's been cut down, it's hanging there, and it's in the drying process. It's not dried yet.
Right.
It's not a plant anymore because it's been cut down. Where does that fit in?
It's not usable.
So is it
If it's
protected?
bad, yeah, I guess.
Well, it's not, and that's what the Carruthers law is saying. Basically, is because it was not considered part of the usable marijuana.
Oh, I
that
got
these
you.
brownies are not protected by Section 4 or by the medical
Right, I see.
marijuana law. So in these areas where something is considered not usable because of the definition that we've given it, whether it is or not is kind of irrelevant. But in those cases there, what is the law enforcement supposed to do? How are they supposed to judge these cases in having these types of materials in front of them? That's what I think we need to take a look at. If we were to look at this law from a patient's perspective of, being able to, number one, get the medicine in the form that they need it, and then number two, allow for the processing of that, so that it can be placed into a form that is usable, whether it be, like we said, taking dried plant material, maybe sifting it, screening it so that we can extract the resin
The keef.
that they're trying to get.
Right.
Keef.
Other things.
Yeah, so that it can be used. Obviously, the leaves dried by themselves are not going to be used by most patients. They're going to be continue to be processed into some other form. Maybe they're going to be cooked down from there. Maybe they'd be sifted. Maybe they'd be frozen, et cetera, et cetera. There's different types of situations here that would apply. And having a nice little sentence here definitely is helpful, but it doesn't seem to clear it all up yet.
Yeah, wasn't there a case not too long ago where they had their trim frozen in water or something?
True.
And they counted the cops weighed the whole, chunk of ice with the leaf in it. So what would that be? Yeah, like you were saying.
And in that case there, I mean, the current law says dried leaves, flowers, but it doesn't say extract or resin. So it already says dried leaves and flowers is what's considered usable. So there's an argument there already.
Yeah.
It's kind of interesting. I think that if they look at some of the cases that are going through the courts, some of the different types of situations that have already been, in the system, so to speak, they might be able to go back and rewrite some of the legislation a little bit more, with a little bit more clarity, so that we can have a better enforcement of this. It definitely brings up some more questions. I think this is a good start of a bill. This bill has just been introduced in the Michigan House, so you guys have plenty of time to put your input on this, and we definitely would encourage you to do so. I think it's a good bill. Like I said, I think it's in a good start. Representative Starkey, I believe, out of Jackson, is a co-sponsor, and Eileen Kowal is one of the main people that have sponsored this. She's a Republican from Oakland County, of all places. So I think that we need to have more support to this bill, but we also need to have more consideration as well. If we're really trying to help patients out and also law enforcement, by having a very clear stature here of what is protected and what isn't, then I think we need to have more consideration of what's involved in the processes of medical marijuana. So,
Yeah.
all right, so give you guys plenty of time to get active on that.
At least they're looking into it, trying to improve.
Yeah, looks like there's a couple other ropes on here. Representative, let's see, Kavanaugh, I know he's from the East Lansing area. Bumstead, Sign, Barnett. Representative Colton's on this as well. Goyke, Daly, McMillan. I don't see any reps from the Genesee County area, so we could always give them a call and see if they want to be interested in this as well.
Oh, yes.
So, all right, got some other things I have to do with other areas. I see that on this on Facebook quite a bit. Uruguay looks like they've legalized or going to legalize cannabis, and then this is a government-run program from what I've read. Looks like the government will be growing it, selling it, so forth. And the big story is that they're planning on producing it and selling it at $1 a gram. The story behind the story here is that the government decided to do this not to just produce cannabis, but it wasn't for a profit-based motive. It was based on simply trying to deter crime. And so they figure that by being able to produce this and sell it at such a cheap price, that it will basically undermine the black market and eliminate it.
Or you could just buy it all up at $1 a gram and turn around and just fly it up north.
So
Well, they're trying, man.
Well, I'm just saying. I mean, it's a good system. I like the idea, but
And originally when they had talked about this program, I think their state administrator had predicted around $3 a gram. Now they're saying $1. So certainly there's probably flexibility there, and obviously it'll.
Concept.
well,
It's a concept at this point.
You're
Same
waiting for
thing.
$5 a gram.
Yeah, that's what Amsterdam claims to have made weed boring. You know what I mean? There used to be like 400 shops or something in Amsterdam. Now there's like 60. You know what I mean? Just in the last 15, 20 years, there's not as much a need for it. There's not people running, trying to flood the coffee shops to get their bowl smoking in,
Right.
feel cool. Yeah, so it's lost its coolness. Now it's more on the medicinal side, and it's being treated with respect, I guess, whatever you want to
Anyway, the novelty wears off, and then
Yeah.
it's just like any market. It goes way up, and then kind of falls off the cliff, and then settles somewhere in between there. So I think the same thing happening there.
Hopefully they succeed and they don't produce garbage for their people.
Right. All right. We have Washington. Since we're talking about prices here, we'll keep going on here. State of Washington, obviously one of the states that just recently legalized cannabis. They are projecting anywhere from $13 to $17 a gram for their cost of medication. which is kind of interesting. It's higher than what they're currently paying for medicinal medication.
Well, that's what I've been talking to a lot of people from there, and they're saying the price is actually, from what I've heard, will even get higher because of the taxation for like the good stuff, like $20-$25 a gram.
May very well be. This is an average projected, so yeah, you probably would have some higher amounts than that. Currently, right now, they say $8 to $14 is the average price per gram in most of the medical marijuana dispensaries in Washington. I know also that in Washington, they're looking at scaling back their medical marijuana program because of the legalization. So there's legislation on the table to lower the amount that is allowed to be held by patients and their caregivers, and then also possibly eliminate the ability of a patient to grow their own medication. So kind of interesting there. Obviously, this is something that's still on the table. They haven't decided yet, but you can imagine that patients have concerns, being forced to go purchase their own medication from a recreational place without a medicinal basis, and then also not being able to provide for themselves certainly would be a concern as well.
Mm-hmm.
So it doesn't sound too good there. Let's see here. There's a Gallup poll that says in the last year, it's gone up 10 points to the people that think marijuana should be legalized, up to 58%.
Yeah.
Pretty interesting.
Completely believe that.
That's quite a big jump in 1 year, 10 points. So,
Yeah, it's huge. Well, my grandmother was completely she was raised in that reefer madness era, so can't really blame her, whatever. But until I started getting in the legal thing, that completely changed her mind, and to the point where within a year she was she hasn't yet, but she was considering, trying to hook up because of her arthritis.
Oh yeah.
She thinks maybe that there has to be something to it. You know what I mean? But she would have never considered it before.
Right.
But,
It's one of the
so it
only
opens
things
people's eyes for sure.
It's one of the only things that actually works for my nerve damage in my right hand. I mean, shit hurts. Like I've said before, I'd cut my finger off if I could with no painkiller or nothing, but the pain would still be there. That's the only thing I found. I've tried all the painkillers, I've tried all the nerve medication. The only thing that works is concentrates, or like Simpson oil, eating a whole gram of it.
Yeah, I think she believes that now.
Mm-hmm.
And that might be the future for her, for medicine. Doesn't do the trick much longer.
Interesting.
She's out of options,
Right? What do you do when you have options? Start looking for other ones,
Right.
naturally. So.
And then you feel dumb when you realize you could have had this option to begin with and not had to go through all this
Right.
pill stuff, side effects.
There's an interesting thing here in Illinois. They just passed medical marijuana here a few months ago. Still implementing the program. I know it's going to be the next couple of years before they get things up and running, but they already have another bill on the table here to make it easier for vets to qualify for medical marijuana. Obviously, most vets are going to be have their health services taken care of at the VA, and the VA doctors will not make medical marijuana recommendations because it's illegal federally.
Right.
But they're making an exception for vets in the state of Illinois that they'll be able to use the Illinois Department of Health to gain their recommendation.
Very cool.
It's a bill that's on the table down there. It's kind of interesting.
That's good.
Obviously, vets could probably go to another doctor outside of the VA, but they'd have to pay for that. And we know that vets have limited incomes, of course. But I'd like to see them
maybe
be
they're
able
not
to get.
comfortable going somewhere else too. Why should they have to?
Well, and I think it's nice the VA's come out and said you don't have to worry about your benefits being taken away and so forth, but they do need to at least be able to get access to medication if that's what they need.
Mm-hmm.
So, and the state's stepping up there and creating a specific avenue for them to do so. So that's a good thing. There's another thing here. The FDA approves 2 trials for a product called Epidiolex. Try to say that right. This is a liquid that's made from cannabis. It's 98% CBD, and this study is for children with seizures. It'll include 25 kids, and it'll be performed by the New York University School of Medication. I was going to say medification.
Educational.
New York University School of Medication and the University of California. And Epidiolex. It's produced by GW, same company that produces Sativex. And again, this product is obviously geared towards children with seizures, have epilepsy, due to epilepsy, or other means. And like I said, it's a 98% CBD product. The other 2% are other types of cannabinoids that are contained in there. It's made specifically from cannabis, and it's administered, I believe, as a spray. Like you take it orally. And I know that Sativex is the same way.
That's a lot nicer for children.
Well, you have Marinol, which is primarily all THC, delivered in pill form. Sativex, which is a full-bodied delivery method, so it has all types of different cannabinoids present in it. And then this new one here that they're trying out, Epidiolex, which is mainly just CBD. So, and the main reason they were trying to eliminate getting the THC out of the product is so that the children won't have any type of psychoactive side effects, and
awesome.
Still have the medicinal effect of the cannabis. And we've seen that work amazingly in quite a few different patients I know that have epilepsy or suffer from seizures due to MS or other types of diseases.
Smaller doses than 98%, so that's huge.
Well, and I think that's the purity level, you know what I mean? What the amount of doses is, they'll probably try to regulate that according to the studies that they're trying to perform and so forth. But pretty interesting there. The FDA, number one, stepping up and allowing the study to be performed, even though, in spite of all the different things that, marijuana is illegal on a federal level, it's still Schedule 1 with no medicinal purpose. But yet the FDA is out there issuing studies to be conducted. Also find it interesting that, being that this study is being able to be performed and being backed up by GW, kind of no wonder there. GW obviously being a large pharmaceutical company, same one that has Bayer and other types of products you're familiar with. So kind of interesting there. I mean, hypocritical on one hand, but still you don't really want to damn it, because you hope obviously these children can find some relief. And obviously the parents involved certainly looking for some solutions to their children's diseases or the seizures. I mean, I can't imagine having a child go through that. You'd want to try to find anything possible. So, and it's potentially could be a good thing. So we'll keep you posted on any future information coming down the pike for this product. You can search more for yourself, Epidiolex. Again, that's the name of the product there. So Epidiolex. Let's see, we got a couple other states here involved out there with some marijuana news. Arizona, they may add PTSD as a qualifying condition. They have a panel set up to review adding conditions similar to the one that we have here in Michigan. And right now they have PTSD on the table. I know that our own state here in Michigan also has the same thing, like I mentioned, and currently PTSD is on our table. I think we've already got through the first stage of it, and right now I think there's a couple different types of bureaucratic things that need to be buttoned down before we can get a finalization on that. So hopefully we'll get some answers there here in the next few months, but it's been a long time coming. So
got a lot of patients who need that.
Yeah.
A lot of the patients actually fought for our rights, so need to take care of them.
No, this is true.
I hope that was a growl.
That was a sneeze.
Oh, okay. Like a
yeah, that was a farty tail.
Toby would have been scooting.
Like the turd molecules just hit me.
Whoa. All right, our neighbors to the west, Oregon, they have possibly mandatory testing coming their way for obviously medical marijuana. This is something that's been discussed here on the show, here in Michigan as well.
Nice.
And they haven't made it mandatory yet. It is a possibility. It's in their legislation. Primarily, they'll be testing for mold and powdery mildew, which seems to be the main concerns.
Gotcha.
Obviously, Oregon's one of those states that gets rain like every day.
Yeah.
Almost every day.
Yeah.
So those would definitely be natural concerns considering the climate. I think that it's not a bad idea to have testing. I'm just not sure if it should be mandatory. So
I don't know if that's a huge problem. I mean, there's no point in making people sicker. You know?
absolutely. I think for those folks out there that do have concerns and maybe are weakened immune systems, so forth, they should have the option to be able to acquire.
I agree. Mandatory anything sucks. I'm definitely not backing that. But maybe if it's causing more issues, then
I think the ones who do test though will be the ones that stick around. So it didn't have to be mandatory. So the ones who don't test, people will just be like, I don't really want to use my caregiver no more.
Yeah, and right now, that does seem to be the norm where testing is not the majority of the product out there. The majority has not been tested. And so people are just, down the road, another 5-10 years, it'll probably be, more and more unheard of to, have medicinal marijuana and not have it tested. So I think people are just going to, as it becomes more available, people are going to want to demand that. And then once they, start to receive it, it's going to be the norm, overnight, I think. The question is what do we test? What's mandatory that has to be tested? What's the cost involved? So on and so forth. And obviously, these things are going to get worked out along the way. All right, one more other state out there I wanted to mention is Massachusetts. They also have a medical marijuana program that they have up and running, or they're trying to get up and running. This is a little interesting tidbit of information. They have a potential of 35 dispensaries. They're not going to allow any more than 5 dispensaries in any one county. Obviously, Massachusetts isn't a real big state, but 35 dispensaries. And out of that, they had 181 applications, and it looks like already a few of them got rejected. But anyways, some of the requirements here to be a dispensary here in the state of Massachusetts. Number one, they had to be already filed as a nonprofit organization, and they had to have $500,000 in liquid assets. Once they meet the criteria and are accepted, the application's put through. Along with their application, they have to include a $30,000 application fee. Whoa! So, yeah. Wow.
Yeah, that's hardcore. Only the strong survive, man.
I guess so. I think Uruguay may be $1 a gram, and Massachusetts may be 100.
Yeah.
So and I think our neighbors to the south of us, Illinois, their application fee was also pretty expensive. If I remember, somewhere to the north of $30,000, or maybe even more.
Yeah.
For the dispensaries down there.
That's insane.
So interesting how the business is developing. I saw a posting today, don't get trapped by marijuana investment scams. Like, really? Have a no-brainer there. Most of them can't even have bank accounts. So, but this is definitely a growing industry. We're seeing, states obviously across the nation either looking to legalize, decriminalize, or at least get medical marijuana available to the people who need it. And it's good to see people be able to get access to this for medical purposes. Yeah. Obviously, this is a solution for a lot of the patients that we found here in Michigan, and we'd like to see other people across the U.S. be able to find those same solutions. So,
yeah,
little chicken wings,
keeping innocent people out of jail. That's, the petty all the people that are locked up for petty marijuana crimes or whatever. For a gram of weed or an eighth of weed. Like, man, it's sad.
Yeah.
Soon it's going to be all the people who can't afford Obamacare.
Yeah.
So we gotta cut back busting people for small petty crimes, so we can put all those debtors in jail. Those darn debtors.
Yeah. They just owe because we say so.
I'm still curious to find out what my health care is going to cost me. Because from what I keep reading, there's no deals. So I'm going to be forced to pay a shitload of money that I don't have for health care.
Taking the affordable out of the Affordable Health Care Act. It's everybody I've seen is complaining about it.
But I didn't hear anything about it being affordable though.
That's what it's labeled though. They want it to be called the Affordable Health Care Act instead of the Obamacare, and it's not affordable.
But why can't you just go talk to a normal healthcare insurance provider?
Oh no, because the government's going to do better for you, don't you know?
But they aren't doing though.
You're just better.
They're just linking you to the same businesses you would normally went through.
Yeah, that's the great shell game. That's all it is. They don't want us to realize it's a great shell game. That's all it is.
But there is no monetary savings though.
No, there isn't. There is. Yeah, it doesn't address the major issue of healthcare is the affordability. That's one thing the Affordable Health Care Act does not address.
No,
it's
now
supposed to be punitive and wants to force you to do something that you might not be inclined to do.
But here's the thing, though, health, insurance companies, they would always have taken me for health care. But they've never denied me because of my previous stuff. But my cost is freaking astronomical.
Well, get this. People think they're going to be doing better with the government having oversight of the health care. The companies, the things that the government oversees already, the programs, already denies people more often than the private insurance companies do. Deny claims and everything else. So we're in a world of hurt with this stuff, man, and it's going to get worse.
So wait, so do all your claims go through Obamacare, or they go through your insurance company?
Who knows what's going to do? It's over 1,000 pages worth of legislation there. Can you wade through it? The assholes who signed it, the assholes who signed it didn't even know what the hell was in it. They didn't even write the bill. These lazy assholes who were supposed to be the ones writing the bill don't even know what's in the damn bill. Yet they passed it carte blanche. It's ridiculous.
Isn't it at Obamacare.com? Isn't that where you go to?
It doesn't work. Don't go there.
Well, of course, it's the Republicans' fault, though. It's the Republicans' fault. That's what Obama's mantra has been since he's taken office.
They voted for it too, obviously.
No, actually, the Republicans did not vote for Obamacare. For what I've read, there was not one Republican that voted for that.
Really?
And they still passed it.
Oh well. Well, I thought it got passed by an executive order or something like that.
Which is not supposed to be done in this case anyway.
Well, yeah, no, I'm not saying it makes it right. I'm just saying.
He gets away with everything because nobody wants to be labeled a racist for challenging anything. Everything goes with him because if you challenge him on anything or question anything he does, you're a racist. I mean, I opposed it when Clintons were proposing the same crap. I guess, at least I'm consistent, but I guess I'm still considered a racist because I don't bow down and worship Obama, and everything he does and says is so wonderful. I can't see that, but. It's gonna be. We're gonna be paying through the nose. For
Well, the interesting thing about this, I think a lot of people got the idea that this was some type of government health care, and what it really was is it's just government forcing private companies to provide insurance when they may previously not have provided.
No, they would have provided it before. You just would have had to pay the same amount before you would now. No, you're going
to have to pay more now because now they're actually going to cover you. Whereas before they would have said, no, we're not covering you.
No, I tried that. Like Blue Cross, I thought they wouldn't accept me.
Blue Cross will accept you anyways. And there's a lot of other ones out there that would not have.
But they'll send you to their subsidiary or another department in their same business, and they'll just charge you on a higher premium. They put you in their subprime contract.
Yeah, it's like having the high risk driver's license.
But it would have took you before. It's just the point now that you're just going to have to pay the top dollar that you were like, hell no, I'm not going to pay that before.
Well, that's what I mean, is that these companies that previously may or may not have issued coverage, now they're going to issue coverage. It doesn't mean that you're going to do it as a favor. They're just going to make you pay for it.
And if you don't, you become a debtor.
To get this. So you're there now. The companies who are supposed to be the big bad men in this, the way it's gone now. These companies now can offer any product. You're forced because you want to avoid paying the fines. You're going to buy a product that's worthless, basically, paying through the nose for it. Guess who's going to be profiting off of that? Those insurance companies that are supposed to be the big bad evildoers.
Dude, I'm telling you, the Jews are putting their grasp in everything.
I
mean, that's what you mean, but now you just took a society.
Global attack hour.
You took a society.
It wasn't racist until now.
You took a society of people in America who are either A, too rich to be on Medicare, or B, too poor to afford Obamacare. So you have a huge population right there. Now the government has gotten their power, saying, all right, now you have to sit there and buy this. If you don't buy this, we're going to fine you. And we already knew you couldn't afford it before, and we already knew you made a few $1,000s too much a year. Like, you made $14,000 this year, so you can't be on Medicare. Like, you're way too rich for that. So then now they're making it where that middle group of people right there, you're either going to have to pay the fines or get locked away and do cheap labor.
Yeah, so the government, this has nothing to do with healthcare. It's about control. It's not about healthcare control, it's about control.
I'm not being racist. I love, the Jews are like chess players when it comes to business, like the best in the world. But this is exactly what's happening. America is getting turned into a debtor country.
Well, I don't know who runs the companies, but all I know is that this is going to make things worse. That's all the upshot of Obamacare is going to do, is going to make a bad situation even worse. From what I see of it, and come on, they have how many years to get this website together, and it's failing from the get? This is ridiculous. They spent over $800 million for a damn website that's failing miserably. If that's going to show us what Obamacare is going to be, I sure the hell want to stay out of it.
I just can't believe we're being forced to do it.
Well, I still can't believe the Supreme Court allowed for this. There's no... There in the Constitution, the Bill of Rights, the Constitution does not permit the government to force you to buy something you don't want to choose to buy.
So do you have to get dental insurance too?
Well, that's going to be down the pike. But the thing basically...
You must have clean teeth or you will sit in jail.
Well, you got to now see, basically they want to penalize you for being not on target with what they think you should be doing in life. again, our servants are becoming our masters, and we're sitting there just allowing it to happen because we're not reacting. We're writing to congressmen and senators. What the fuck good did that do? Excuse my expression. What fucking good did that do?
I feel you, brother. I'm still fathoming the fact that I have to buy really expensive insurance that I really didn't need right now.
Kids, if you're watching this, turn it off now.
I do apologize for swearing, but I don't know what the hell. I mean, nobody I know in their right mind wants Obamacare. But these damn politicians in suits in D.C. are pushing it down our throats, and we're saying, "What about this?" And Nancy Pelosi so blithely saying, "We gotta pass it before we see what's in it." It's not a grab bag, Nancy. It's the health care of the United States, you dumbass. It's not an article of faith. I don't trust you people to begin with.
Well, they tend to forget because they have a sweet health care package.
Yeah, what if they're so damn good with Obamacare? Then what hell do they get on it?
Yeah.
But Rand Paul says he wants to force these people to get on the same system. Oh, God, no. Crickets. We can't have that. It wouldn't be fair. It's so great. We couldn't afford it. We wouldn't want to take it from the people. That's a lot of crap, folks.
Is it if you have health care through your business, you don't have to pay the fines in because you already have health care, right? As long as you have health care, you're checked and good.
There we go.
So you're going to punish people who just can't afford it, but then also you're going to punish people who, because of our terrible economy, because of all the assholes who run our economy into the ground, you're going to say that now because of all these jobs of people who can't get health care through their jobs, because GM now, they don't hire people in with health care and stuff. You get $14 an hour. All that stuff's done and gone. So now you're getting people who are working jobs now. They're going to have to pay all their money who couldn't really get a job with health care. And then all their extra money they're going to make for living off of is going to be spent on health care.
And don't forget about the illegals and all. They're going to come in and they're going to be given health care. Not paying
They get free health care, right?
Health care.
They get free health care, right?
They're going to be getting free health care.
So if I have a kid with an illegal immigrant, would they be covered?
Probably. As a matter of fact, you probably get a free ride. So you
There
might
you
want to
go.
look for that option.
See, I'm going to find the first Mexican chick I can find who actually can't speak illegal English.
So views
views
expressed by me is just all my own, and not the Genesee County Compassion Club. but I'm sick of the politicians pushing this shit down our throats. We're screaming, no. Oh, it's going to be so wonderful. No, it's not. You're not even answering the questions, and yet you're saying, if I ask a question, I'm going to erase this bigot for asking a question. Well, it has nothing pertaining to race. It has with the health care coverage, because I'm asking because the black president's pushing it. I'm going to erase this because I'm asking a question about what the hell is going to happen with it. And this is ludicrous. And this never been able to happen in our country until they play that race card to the max under this president.
I'm just thinking of Americans
Part of the plan.
who aren't millionaires getting treated like dog poo. If you don't have $1 million a week income, you get treated like dog shit in this country now. And I'm sick of that. That's the part that's making me pissed off. All these people that have either fought for their country, have been through this country through the Depression, everything else, have seen all these changes, the older ones, that's what scares me, is when I get older, am I going to be like that? Am I going to get treated like a piece of shit now because I'm old and I don't have the money to sit there and pay
You don't have to wait till you're old.
But you don't have to. You get treated like shit now.
So this is hope and change you can believe in. And hope and change, guess what? I'm a pessimist. I usually see change means going from the bad to worse. And that's exactly what kind of change I'm seeing, so I'm believing in that kind of change.
I hate bringing it up too about Canada, but every time people talk about Canada, I've never heard anything negative about Canada's healthcare system ever.
I have. It's about bankrupt. See, that's the thing is, American press doesn't pay attention to what's going on.
Wait, it's going bankrupt?
Yeah.
Unlike America, who's been in a deficit for how long? So if something going bankrupt is bad,
We just raised the debt limit.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, see, guess what, guys? You can take a page out of the government saying
Going bankrupt's actually a positive
your
thing.
credit cards are maxed out. You're fine.
You're doing
Just
good.
Get the credit card companies to raise it. No problem. Now you can pay even more.
Magically make
Well, I don't know. I guess one of the questions I had, John, you might even be able to answer this, but is this the first time that we've raised the debt limit without setting a limit?
No, it's not happened. That's not the first time that I believe.
Okay.
I think it's happened several. That's the problem.
Because I thought they always raised the debt limit. They said, okay, then we'll allow it to go up to this amount now. You know what I mean?
Well, they do that, but then it goes beyond that.
Well, I'm not saying it doesn't. I'm just mean, but now that this time that we passed it, they didn't even set a future limit. They just said we're going to raise it till January.
Well, hell, the sky's beyond.
They gave it a time limit instead of a debt limit.
We're now connecting. Our debt limit.
I'd like to do that with my credit cards. Be like, well, let's not really set a limit. Let's just go till January, see how it goes.
Yeah.
They tell January.
Then we'll talk.
Does anyone even know what the Obamacare website is? Just because I Googled buy Obamacare, and every insurance company that advertises, they all have get Obamacare here, get Obamacare here.
Is it healthcare.gov?
Yeah, that's what I think it is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Healthcare.
It's a scary
business
proposition.
owners.
Yeah, we're going to be forced to do it. Otherwise, we're going to face stiff penalties and probably
There it is,
prison.
healthcare.gov. It's way
This is
under all the
ludicrous.
other ones that advertise.
People should be upset about this, but
pretty
because
sad.
it's the Democrat, you always got the best interest at heart for you. You're just too stupid to see the benefit. You know, I'm sick of that patronizing tone with these people.
I think people are going to get more upset when they find out what the cost is. I think a lot of people are just kind of sitting back
Yeah,
and
but
waiting.
what is
and
going to
then-
do if they're going to? The congressman and senators already told not to pass this shit anyway, and they still did it.
No, that's what I mean. I mean, I think that your population, general population, is going to start to get upset when they have to start paying those premiums. They find out how much they cost, or the people who don't sign up get the fines and find out,
we've
I'm not getting a tax return this year because I have to pay for Obama
Well, just wait.
penalty.
I guarantee you, I'm probably going to lose 20 pounds this year because I'm not going to be able to afford to eat. Thanks, Obama. Take food out of my mouth and my dogs.
But don't forget though, but his kids are set for life.
Oh, yeah.
I think every business owner in America should fire any employee with an Obama sticker on their car tomorrow. Everybody.
Fired.
Actually, some
Fired.
people actually
Everybody with
done
an
that.
Obama sticker, fired. Like, I think that would change the,
Some people,
the economy right there.
some businesses have done. Now, see, I don't think you should be able to do that. I don't like that, but I can understand thinking that way. I mean, people have got to understand. There's no such thing as a free lunch. Somebody's paying for it. If you're getting it for free, somebody else down the road is being forced to pay for you, and it's not. They don't deserve to have to pay for you.
Mm-hmm.
That's what America's built on now. Is somebody else should pay for you.
It's built on the land of the free. We just take it wrong.
Yeah, it's like it's a pursuit of happiness doesn't mean somebody else is forced to provide your happiness.
Right,
You got to
right.
get it yourself.
Yeah, well, definitely a debacle.
Yeah.
Create a marketplace account. All right. I'm going to try this, guys. I'll let you know how this works next week.
You'll still be working at it next week.
Probably will be.
Oh, yeah,
We're
no.
checking with him periodically. He'll stay right there. You got a bathroom here. You got a coffee pot. Next week we'll report and see what Chad's progress is.
He's sitting here all smelly, being scrapped all over the place.
His beard's
He's still here trying to log on.
His beard's growing out.
Yeah.
His girlfriend's left him. No.
It happens.
Interesting. All right, guys. Well, I think that's about all we have for this week. We've got our rants out.
Yeah.
Still ranting.
Yeah.
We'll let you know how Chad's done next week here on in his enrollment.
Yeah. If your employee has an Obama,
Ooh, I gotta create a username.
fire him.
Should I make it my Jew money?
Dude, you're going to be tracked no matter what you do, so just
Yeah.
go ahead and put that on there.
You should make it Obama Lover 517.
Let's see.
There you go. Cool. Well, guys, thanks for joining us this week. It's been fun. Hope you enjoyed the show. Catch us here next week on FlintTalkRadio.com. Always look us up at Ustream.tv. And this has been the Genesee County Compassion Club Show. Thanks for being here.